All right, you guys, I am so tired right now. I just finished a long shift, just door dashing. I think I did like 10 hours nonstop. I took one break in between. I just ate dinner in between and then kept going. And man, I'm just beat right now. I just want to go to bed, but I want to push this video out as soon as possible and just give you guys the breakdown of how much I made. So let's jump straight into it. All right, first things first, let's talk about my pay. So, what I'm going to put up on the screen is how much I made. So, according to DoorDash, I made $765.67, of which $493.12 came directly from DoorDash. For tips, I earned $272.55. So, honestly, the tips were pretty low this week. I'm not going to lie. I was carried by the DoorDash pay primarily through flash offers. If you know what flash offers are, you already know how OP they are. So a lot of that pay did come from those. Now for my active time, I got 19 hours and 24 minutes. And then for my dash time, I got 23 hours and 36 minutes. So if you don't know the difference between active time and dash time, active time is actually the amount of time you're actively on an order versus dash time is including your active time and the amount of time you were waiting for an offer to pop up for you to accept. So that's the difference between those two. And then you can see the final stat is I did 64 completed deliveries. So honestly, not bad. Pretty good stats, I would say. I did the math. That's about $33 per hour. But remember that these earnings are all before taxes and before deductions. So it could be different after I set aside everything. So let's actually jump into my mileage. So I'm going to put up on the screen my stats for Stride, which is the app I use to track my mileage and all my expenses and deductions when I DoorDash. So obviously my income, $765.67. For my mileage, I drove 411.14 miles. So with that amount of mileage, I earn a deduction of $298.08, meaning I can subtract the $765 with that $298, and then whatever's left is taxable income. So I basically get to pay less in taxes and save a lot more and get to keep a lot more. So as you can see, I save $89.42 on taxes. All right, so let's see. Stride, according to Stride, obviously my gross income, it's up there. My deductions was $237.75, like I said. And it says my estimated taxes for this income will be about $158.38, and that's what it recommends me setting aside. However, I like to set aside a lot more than what Stride recommends me, and that's what I'm going to show you right now. So I like to set aside 40% of my gross income every time I cash out, just because I like to be as safe as possible with taxes, right? I don't want to mess up on my taxes. So I'm going to show you. So as you can see, I did the math. 40% of $765.67 is going to come out to $306 and whatever, right, at the end. So what I like to do is round that up to $307, and I decided to put $307 into my Apple Wallet savings account, which has a 3.65% APY, just so my money just doesn't sit there and it at least earns a little bit of interest, right, before tax season. So I set aside $307 from my gross income, and then what I did with the rest of the money after I set aside everything for taxes was put it into my emergency savings account. I put it all into my MX high yield savings account. So I ended up putting in $459 into my MX savings account, which is going to be the remainder of the income. So yeah, that's the breakdown. Honestly, not a bad week. I would say this is a typical week. This is typically how much I make. So I was a little surprised that I'd make a lot more because it is Super Bowl Sunday today. So I did expect a little higher pay. This is about how much I made last week, and last week was just a normal week. So that's pretty interesting to see. But yeah, again, if you guys like this kind of video, like these breakdowns of my income, please let me know in the comments below. I will keep making more of these. And yeah, this is a good example of utilizing what you have, right? I may be a private in the Army that doesn't make a lot of money, but I do have a cheap car that I don't have any payments on, that I own, and it's a beater, and so it's a Honda, right? I barely have any expenses on it. It allows me to do things like this, which is door dashing and other side gigs, and they make me a lot of money. Well, it's not a lot of money, but it is extra income that I earn on top of my military pay, and as a result, I get to like double my income, for example, because I would say this is about about the same amount of money I make in the military, or even more, depending on how good the week is. So yeah, if would I recommend door dashing? Honestly, if you're a military service member and you live on base, I would say it's pretty worth it, depending on how good your market is. If your market is pretty small and people don't tip a lot, it's probably not best for you to do it. It also depends on the type of car you drive too. Like if you drive a German car, like a BMW or some kind of Mercedes, it's definitely not worth it, especially if you have a car payment on it. It's going to depreciate in value so quickly. And then if you drive like a Toyota or Honda and you know what you're doing when it comes to taxes, like dealing with 1099s, I think it's definitely worth it. This really is a awesome side gig to have. Doesn't pay the best. It is very tiring because you do drive a lot, but when you have this much free time, it can be worth it, I think, at least in my personal opinion. I spent like $6,000 on buying my car, and in total, I spent like 8,000 when it comes to like registration, insurance, gas, everything, right? And I've already made back like quadruple of that just door dashing alone with the same car, and it runs exactly the same as when I first got it. It's so reliable. It's awesome. It's basically a moneymaker for me. It's an asset, so I'm gonna take advantage of it and drive my Honda Accord to the ground, right? So yeah, I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow, perhaps. There should be a new video coming out tomorrow. God, I'm so tired right now. It's like 11:40 p.m. right now. I do have a day off tomorrow, so I'm very appreciative of that. I'm very grateful. Before I end off, I do want to thank everybody for all the support. This video, it wasn't. I mean, this isn't a great video, but I don't know what I'm saying. What am I saying, man? Yeah, but what I wanted to say was I want to thank all of you guys for all the support, all the subscribers and comments. I do see all of it. I try to reply to every single one of you. It's overwhelming, but I appreciate it. I appreciate the support. I want to see this channel keep growing and really help you guys. You know, make something great. And I do have great video ideas coming out soon. So if you guys are excited for that, let me know. So yeah, peace out, guys. God bless, and be safe out there.